welcome back to Afternoon Express. Now, today we've been discussing organ donation. In South Africa particularly, there has been a declining number of donors, which causes a really big problem in transplantation. We are continuing our conversation now with Samantha Nichols, the Executive Director of the Organ Donor Foundation of South Africa, and Gabby Lowe from the Jenna Lowe Trust. Now, you've been getting some really interesting questions on social media.
Very interesting questions, but very much questions that we need answers to. Yes. We've got someone here asking, is it possible for people who are HIV positive to donate? I think that's so important.
So I mentioned that there's a program at Curtis Care Hospital where they're doing HIV. So they're taking HIV positive donor kidney and using it for HIV positive recipients. So there's always a possibility. And obviously with medical technology, it's always changing and there are always new advancements. So that's really great to hear.
That's crazy. That's incredible.
I really, really just want to urge the whole of South Africa to go out and become an organ donor because, and what you said earlier was so important. Imagine, like, when you're alive, you think, oh, I don't need to. And when you're well, you don't think about organ donation. And until you get sick and you want somebody to have been able to donate to you, it must be such a frustrating feeling, knowing that just by somebody donating something to you can change your life. And if people don't, it's like, what a horrible thought.
It's one of those things that, you know, we talk about the practicalities of organ donation, but one of the biggest challenges that we found with Jen is when you are waiting, when you're on that waiting list, you don't know if you're waiting to live or waiting to die.
How does the waiting list work? How long is it dependent on just the availability of an organ?
It's dependent on availability, but also on a match.
Okay.
So for lung transplant, it's a tissue match, blood type match, size. So all of that has to match.
And then
so it's
mentally,
not just and then mentally you have to be incredibly strong. And you have, when you do your workup for transplant, you also see a psychologist. They need to know that you've got enough support to really push through it because transplant is a difficult surgery. But that waiting period was so hectic. And I remember Jen once saying to me late at night, you know, Mum, I don't know, like, am I preparing to live or preparing to die? Because when you're really ill, you do that emotional preparation. But when you're waiting and you're listed, there's that terrible tension of not knowing what you're preparing for, because will it come through in time? And then if it does come through, will you survive the transplant?
How do you support your daughter through that and stay so strong?
It was very tough, and we did lots of things as a family. We did family meditation. We all saw therapists. We spoke a lot, very openly as a family. We talked a lot, and then we also did. So the activism helped us. It helped us in the journey, and that carries on. So continuing with the Jenna Lowe Trust afterwards has really helped me to make some sense of this hideous journey. Otherwise, I don't know how.
I'm definitely looking forward to reading your book. I know you've got an incredible book out. And Jeannie and I, we have definitely pledged to
we're going to donate our organs. Thank you so much for being here today. And we really hope that we've been able to urge the rest of the country to do the same. I'll be back tomorrow with Chi, and we're going to be cooking in the kitchen. So we'll see you for the cook-along tomorrow. Until then, good night and God bless.